Hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. This is True Crime in the Morning. I'm your host, Patrick Vihos. You can call me Sleuth. Today we will be talking about the Missy Bevers case. And we do have a lot to go over. This is another mind-melting murder mystery. Good to see you, Speculation. Freckled, what's up? My sister from another mister. Circulation. Hey, what's up, Kevin? Yeah. Kevin says, "Good afternoon, Sleuth and chat. When I saw the thumbnail, I was hoping that was going to be the poll question." We're going to hear a 20-minute interview from her husband, Brandon. Is it Beavers or Bevers? Hopefully, one of you can correct me. I keep saying Bevers. But he speculates on that very thing. He also says another thing that's very interesting. He doesn't think it's targeted. I think it is. I think we're dealing with a staged crime scene, right? You know, the fake break in and all of that. And we're looking at a hit, targeted hit, or an assassination. Angry wife, um, duck footed hitman. Good to see you, Purdue. How you doing? What's going on, Wanda? Yeah, the gait. There you go. The gait of the person in the video is much like a female. Can't believe it hasn't been solved. They should definitely look to those who knew her schedule. But we're going to go through all the facts of the case, well, as much as I could gather, and then we'll see if we can't make up our own minds. Good to see you, GP. Freckled Joy. Welcome, everybody. We'll get going at the 10-minute mark. We'll get going, guys. Good to see you, Chopper. Yeah, this is a strange one, guys. Very strange. A lot went into planning out this crime, I think, in my opinion. And whoever did it was highly motivated and sophisticated. I mean, considering the fact that they haven't been caught, the things that they were doing, if this was planned, are the very reasons why they are not in custody. Right, Shadow? Good to see you. Good morning, Jerry. All right, Beavers, not Bevers. I think I would rather be wrong calling somebody Bevers than Beavers. So I took a shot. Daisy says targeted. Good to see you, Daisy. Hunted, even. True crime and other stuff. Welcome. All right, guys, we're just at the 5-minute mark. So give us a little bit of time and we will get going. How you doing, GP? What's up, Anthony? What's on your mind? Taco Fall, welcome. Purdue says motivated by personal reasons. That's what I'm thinking. We have a little bit of the search warrant. I got, I think, 2 pages from that. And then the timeline that was discovered after the search warrant. They discovered some creepy conversations going on via LinkedIn, and she was also communicating with some other people and may have been, I guess, deemed flirtatious. So she may have been seeing somebody other than her husband. Hey, what's up, D? Welcome. Nope, you are fashionably late. We're just getting done with the pleasantries and the small talk. Oh, how's the weather? Good to see you, Brett. And how many of you are not familiar with this case? I mean, this is one of the most covered cases I've seen on YouTube. And it seems like it's like a very solvable case, in my opinion. What is up, Angel? Welcome. Go ahead and punch in a number 1 in the chat if you have not heard about this case. If you have not. 1 equals not. So here's a little bit of information on the case. On April 18th, 2016, the body of fitness instructor Terri Leann Missy Bevers was found at Creekside Church of Christ in Midlothian, Texas. Bevers' murder garnered significant media attention after Midlothian police released surveillance footage from inside the church. So we're going to look at that. There's also, I think there was some more surveillance released on a vehicle. We'll look at that. Then I'll sit back and see if you guys can make sense of it all, because I can't. Taco says 1. That's interesting. Purdue says, I love this case. Tom Webster also did great deep dive. Yeah, I don't know how deep we're going to go on it. I think deep enough. We'll break the surface. Chopper says, I'm listening while playing Battlefield on Xbox. Sorry if no comments, but I'm here. I have Battlefield, but through Steam on my computer. What's up, Susan? You made another live stream. Good. I'm glad you could. Glad you were able to. We're going to get going here in just about 1 minute. Looking for a good place to start. Well, let's go here.
Later, but police insist this is not a cold case. Police believe Missy Bevers, a married mother of 3, was attacked by this person captured in surveillance video roaming the halls of a Midlothian church. Fox 4's Natalie Solis is live with a look at where police now stand in this investigation. Natalie.
Well, Clarice, clearly there is a big need for closure and justice, and police say they have continued to work diligently on this case, but the pieces haven't come together just yet.
Sometimes it sounds like we're
Good to
being
see you,
silent.
Nedra.
And that silence cannot be mistaken for a lack of activity.
Midlothian Police Chief Carl Smith reassuring the community the Missy Bevers murder investigation is anything but a cold case nearly 5 years since her death on April 18th, 2016.
Oh, also, quick question for the chat. Any of you that are familiar with this case, somebody at her church recent before her death gave her a book. I think it was like a motivational Christian book. Do you guys know the name of that book by chance? I could not find it. If not, no worries.
Since then, wild speculation in the community, especially online, about who targeted her and why.
What's up,
Police
Slay the
fielded some
Rings?
3,000 tips from around the world, but still no
Good to see you, Rain
arrest.
Dancer.
Certainly, we don't have enough information that has yielded or generated an arrest warrant. It's very difficult to say, we're any closer than we were than the day this happened.
The 45-year-old mother of three killed at Creekside Church of Christ, where she was to teach an early morning fitness class. A mysterious person in tactical gear with a distinct walk seen on surveillance video roaming the halls carrying a hammer. Bevers discovered with
Good to see you, Jane. Jane says, surprised the long video does not help solve the case. I mean, there's not a whole lot of people that I've met in my life that walk like that. Lori Heimer, would you shoot me an email if you don't mind? A little background information on that.
puncture wounds to the head and chest. Then there's this video of a silver Nissan Altima seen in the area before her death.
We are putting.
We'll watch this video also.
Our due diligence into the
pretty long.
investigation, not sparing any expense.
Smith says numerous agencies have assisted along the way, and they continue to enlist help, bringing on investigators from DeSoto PD, a longtime Arlington homicide detective, and even a retired federal investigator to help work the case. Former Cockrell Hill Police Chief Catherine Smith-Torres understands when stakes are high and the pressure even greater.
I think the community's expectations are always going to be huge because they want to know that there's not a killer running loose in their neighborhood.
Thank you, Purdue.
Despite all the challenges, Chief Smith is still optimistic the right person could come forward
Yes,
with a
at a church.
substantive tip that
This
gives
is a church
Bevers'
right here on the
family
screen.
the closure they deserve.
The community needs to not go to sleep on this. They need to be wide awake and say, hey, let me go back and think, is there something that I never said in the past because I didn't think it really mattered?
And Chief Smith says a bigger reward could also be helpful, but he reminds anyone wanting to contribute that in order for police to publicize it, it needs to go through Crime Stoppers and follow all of their rules.
Yeah, we'll make sure to post that Crime Stoppers number. I do have it somewhere. Hopefully I didn't misplace it, but we'll find it. So that's a basic overview of the case for those of you who are not familiar. I think the updates came around 2021 where they had search warrants and things like that. I have a report on that. Let's take a look.
Warrants and new clues in the mysterious murder of Missy Bevers. Detectives are running down every lead they can think of, and new search warrants are revealing details about her marriage, personal life, and who she talked to online.
Now, the whole nation is watching this case unfold, but here in North Texas, it hits home. Police believe this person in the phony police getup is the killer. And that person, whoever it is still out there. Someone's neighbor, someone's friend. Channel 8's Jason White.
Very strange walk.
So,
like
Jason,
lean
today's
back,
warrants show police are checking
like a
everything
penguin.
that they can think of.
Kind of waddles.
Indeed they are, John. You know, right now, these are details that we have heard about for a couple of weeks now, finally made public, though, in this search warrant. Still, though, several legal experts, former county prosecutors, tell us that they're wondering whether it might help or it might hurt.
Let's see what Nedra's talking about here. I know nothing about the case. Delphi was the case that hooked me on true crime. It was West Memphis 3 for me and then Delphi. Looks like a man walking around the church. Yeah, it could be a man, kind of goofy-footed. Police, according to the husband during this interview we'll hear at the end of the live stream, says police are saying he's about 6 foot. So
This investigation to reveal so many specifics.
that would be a very tall woman. So if you know a 6 foot woman who has her feet sticking out like a duck, call in the tip line.
It is the latest revelation in this Midlothian mystery. A new search warrant with phone numbers and names. Police looking for data from those devices, wanting to learn more about who Missy Bevers was talking to.
I found the names on Reddit, but we're not going to share them here. Maybe we'll talk about them in Discord. One of them was somebody that works at a church, and then another fitness trainer. And I guess in the phone, it was listed as him and his wife. So I don't know if that has any connection.
Before she was murdered last month at a Midlothian church. Among the numbers listed, a fitness instructor and his wife. Another man is a connection on her LinkedIn account, who the warrant states was having flirtatious and familiar conversations with Beaver.
Okay, so in her LinkedIn account, she's having some kind of communication up until the point she dies. So it stopped. So they either knew her personally, or they saw it in the news, or they were the killer. Because the day that she passed away, there was no further communication.
But sources tell us that none of these people are considered suspects.
And what they're looking for is that one tip, from the public, that somebody said something, they know something that needs to get to police, so they tie this all together. And I think they'll get it solved. It's a matter of when.
This warrant, though, also reveals problems in Missy's marriage. Text messages on her.
See, this part caught my attention because the interview that we're going to watch of Brandon, which you can see here on the right, he acts like the marriage was like everything was fine. She would message him every day, like, I love you. They would call, they would constantly talk. And then this came out, and it kind of paints a whole nother picture that there may be a motive. And this is also coming from the same guy who says, hey, in my opinion, I don't think it was targeted. It's hard to look at all the evidence and say, hey, this is not a targeted attack. If anything, it would be like, I'm not sure, like it could be targeted. There are some things that kind of point at that.
Her husband's cell phone show ongoing financial and marital struggle and relationships external to the marriage.
I'm leaning that way too,
Details
GP.
Likely to generate new leads. But attorney and former police officer Pete Schulte wonders if Midlothian is giving away too many specifics.
If they know things about the crime that have not yet been released, they can use that to build their case. If it's all been released, they lose that opportunity to really get somebody on details.
Yeah, we'll look at the gear.
Schulte anticipates more warrants in the coming weeks for her Facebook and Twitter accounts, even toll tag data, and to determine whether Bevers had life insurance. Investigators casting a wide net in their search for a suspect and a motive. Jason Whiteley, Channel 8 News.
Slay the Ring says, I've watched this video a lot of times. They're never really carrying anything. They plan on stealing, and they're wandering around like they're wasting time. But it could also be a robbery. Who knows? No, I agree with that. And we're going to take a look at these videos now. I'm telling you, it looks like somebody is staging the crime scene. They're walking around. They know they're being filmed. Not only do they know where the cameras are, it's like they know exactly where they are. And it's not only do they know where they are, it's the very reason they dressed the way they did. Maybe to buy the element of surprise on their victim, and then also to hide from the cameras. Okay, so let's go to the vehicle first. Seven minutes here. Purdue says Perp definitely has degenerative disc. Oh, kind of where your hip, your pelvis is kind of pointed out and your back is kind of hunched. Maybe even knee, hip, ankle involvement on one side. He walks pigeon-toed, feet point out. Yeah, so apparently this person is 6 foot tall and walks very strange. Now, you think it's possible that this person would do that on kind of to look funny? Hey, what's up, Frank? Good to see you, Frank Meister. Okay, look. Now notice when they pulled in here. Let me zip back here. Watch the very beginning. Boom, lights go right out. Why would they do that? You know, they're obviously up to something. And then not only that, there was no cars parked in this parking area anywhere. And the husband said something very strange, said, because Missy would have noticed. And it's almost as if the killer was thinking the very same thing. Like, I can't just park right here. Because when she comes in, she's going to be like, who the hell's here? I'm not alone. So I thought it was interesting that the husband said the very same thing. Okay, now if you're aware of these cameras, that's obviously not your car, right? Nedra says the walk looks faked. Yeah, if you're wearing a fake uniform, you've obviously planned this out, right? Look, you're taking calculated steps here. Risk assessment. You've got your disguise. Why not walk funny? To me, it does look natural, but I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility with this level of planning. You know, I'm going to walk kind of like this the whole time, kind of nonchalant. Anna says, I have wondered if the suspect was wearing very heavy motorcycle boots. Well, yeah, they look like either like tactical boots or motorcycle boots for sure. There was no talk of security footage of anybody leaving on a motorcycle at all. Just this vehicle here. And we do have a description and vehicle type. Shadow says 5'2" to 6. Law enforcement told Brandon Bevers that the perp is around 6 foot. So I don't know. You know, you can't always just blindly follow what they're saying. It's okay to do your own research and whatnot. Heimer is a 2016 unsolved murder in Kansas. They have little info, but not none. What do they have in that case? Do you know? Anything that we can kind of share on the screen? Sketch, security footage, anything we can pass along? Freckled up. We have our first suspect, Freckled Joy. All right, let's see those feet. Are they pointed out? What's going on? Are you part of a group of 6 foot women? Just kidding. Yeah, good to see you, Frank. Joy, I'm 5'8" and have size 12 narrow feet. Suspect number 2. Yeah, I guess if you have big narrow feet, you kind of got to point them out, right? Or else you'll just kind of get them stuck underneath you. Purdue says if the perp was there to rob, they would not have hammered in her face. Shot in the head, rumored. Perp wanted her to see them up close and personal. Yeah, and I didn't verify this, but I did see some talk of a firearm possibly found near the crime scene, so I'm not sure. I guess it would have been good to verify that very important piece of information. Can you guys correct me in there? Was there a firearm used in this crime? Maybe I can get some information on that up on the screen here. Yeah, Wanda. it's not average. I think average is what, 5'6", and for men it's 5'8", 5'9". And I think it depends. I think that's for the United States. Maybe could even vary in from state to state. I'm not sure. Hey, what's up? Beach Fairy says, "Hey everyone, this case is wild. Wasn't there a car outside too spotted on CCTV, but wasn't clear enough to read the license plate?" Yeah, and that's what we're looking at here. Jane's asking, Sleuth, did Missy fight back in that closet or room? No, I don't think so. I think the purpose of the police part of it all was to kind of get her to lower her defense a little bit. Oh, police, I respect the law. And then by the time she's thinking, well, this is a very suspicious situation that I'm in here. I'm not sure this is an officer. It was too late. So the uniform kind of served two purposes, right? To hide from the security cameras, and then also to buy that minute or two that it would take to attack her successfully. Like, oh, there's been a break in here. But apparently, from what I've been reading, she may have been ambushed. So this person's kind of just, playing a character for the cameras, but really just waiting, killing time, waiting for a specific moment. They will duck low and then ambush Missy. So she may have not even seen it coming, for all we know. All right. So tall, but maybe not 6 foot. 5'10", maybe. A tall woman. Freckled says, I wear a 7.5 in women's. It's awkwardly small for someone who is so tall. Yeah, I call that the John Wayne effect. Tall with small feet. That's why he kind of walked all funny. All right, so there's the vehicle. And at any point, we can come back to these. Now, this is inside the church. Here, let's look at the outside of the church here. Slathering says, I think it was a hired hit. Yeah, it could be. Now that knowing what we know about a potential motive. Yeah, it's possible. Doesn't mean that it's the husband, right? If she's cheating, maybe this other person is cheating on their significant other. So they would also have motive to kill her. And this person looks a little bit on the larger side. So we could even be dealing with somebody who's pregnant, maybe? Is that too far-fetched? Here, I think you can see the police tape all around. It's crazy. Rain Dancer says it is not targeted. So you think this was a burglary? Like who dresses up like that to burglarize a church? And it almost seems as if they were driving through the parking lot, kind of looking for a place where they could walk without being caught on the cameras, right? You park somewhere else and then you kind of walk through the field. So I believe when she was pulling into the parking lot, I think she or he was looking for an area where they could kind of park and maybe walk a block or two. Yeah, that's a good answer, Slatherings. Why not just leave? If you're there to commit a robbery, why would you just take that leap and turn a robbery into a murder? You're obviously covered up, unless she tried to stop him, you know? Like, you ain't robbing this place, and then jumped on him, and then they were just like, decided to fight back. But I don't know. Susan says, I think it's a woman also. The way her shoulders are back, chest out. Yeah. There's a couple parts of the security footage where it's almost undeniable. That's her cute family there. Kevin says a toll tag for her car to get charged when she drives through a toll booth. Oh, okay. Thank you. It's like an app on your phone. Wanda says possibly someone that actually worked there or cased the place prior. Rain Dancer's asking, did the car leave afterwards? No, it like came in, kind of cased the joint, was probably looking at where the cameras were, looking for a good place to come in, and then left. And then shortly after, somebody was inside the church, being seen on a separate security system within the building. Beach says, I don't know, definitely some sort of affecting problem that changes your walk. But there are so many injuries that can do that. I broke my femur and it's changed my walk. I think some people can just develop bad walking habits, from a young age. Well, it seems like she was completely changing her life. She wasn't always in great shape. She had all her kids and then got in shape and was trying to inspire other people like, hey, just because you have a bunch of kids and you're a mama now, doesn't mean that you can't get out there and get back in shape and stay active. So maybe during that process, she felt like she was on a whole nother page than her husband, like I've outgrown him. So maybe she wanted out of the relationship. Who knows? Maybe she was being seduced or groomed or, somebody was trying to take her away from her husband or something. That's a good point, Anna. If you are wearing shoes or boots that don't fit, yeah, if they're very heavy too, you kind of got that Ronald McDonald effect, you're trying to lift up your foot and you're flopping your, this big old shoe. But we'll take a look here. We are going to look into that, Chopper. Did the husband get life insurance? I believe the life insurance was canceled prior to her murder. I think that's somewhere in the affidavit. We'll take a look. I do remember it being mentioned. So remind me. Is the original video on the FBI page? I'm not sure. I found this one on the sheriff's page. It's everywhere. It's not hard to find. Angela, good to see you. How was she unalived? Puncture wounds. So I'm not sure. I believe there may have been a gun found at the crime scene. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to verify that. But I do believe she may have been hit with that hammer, the back end of it. Because in the affidavit, it says puncture wounds, multiple. Daisy says father-in-law had a bloody shirt dry cleaned. Some people think it's the in-laws that did it. I did cover that story. I didn't grab it because it was I didn't have enough information on it. I didn't want to go that too far off track here. But yeah, we'll be looking into that. Dark SUV left the church parking area just prior to the crime being discovered, but it isn't well known. I don't know if that is correct. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. 6'2" and 6 foot. Weird, yeah. Yeah, not getting out of the car, shutting off their lights, looking really suspicious. Susan's like, you're hating on tall women. Stop it. Maybe it's more common than I think. 5'2" and 5'8". Miracle Hearts, thank you. Gun was listed as a weapon in a police report. Okay, that's where I saw it. That's where I seen it then. Damn, freckled. See, that's pretty tall. That's like WNBA tall. Hey, what's up, Jessica? Welcome. Slathering says they probably totally surprised her, which again makes you wonder why they didn't just leave. Exactly. This looks targeted, in my opinion. But why makes a killer do what they do? You never really know. What are they under the influence? Are they just pissed off at the world? What is it? Purdue says father-in-law fits profile, including walk, however, rumored to have moderate alibi. Getting caught in a building is way less punishment than... Exactly. Why would you put yourself at, just getting in trouble, trespassed, maybe a felony, going straight to a life sentence where you could possibly be facing, the death penalty? Doesn't make any sense. Seems extremely targeted. Yeah, I don't know much about the father-in-law. That's a conspiracy theory that I will be looking into, though, for sure. And some other woman named Tammy or something. No, that's the wrong name. But there's another woman that they're talking about on Reddit as a suspect. Nedra says, if the motivation wasn't sexual, it's money, jealousy, or greed. Looks planned regardless. I thought pregnant, but then the person was so tall, I thought male. I can't call it. All right, let's go ahead and pull up that security footage. We'll watch it a couple times. And then we'll listen to what Brandon Bevers had to say. Kevin says one thought regarding the car video is that they broke a window and drove away to see if the cops showed up. Well, it's things like this. Watch. So this person's barely even like, it's like they don't know how to use tools, right? Like, you know how easy it would be just to use the back of that hammer to rip that door open? Or just to beat that handle off of there? Like, this person is totally clueless. Oh, we'll go ahead and leave that door open. Didn't even really go inside there. Yeah, and the belly's kind of out, right? A little bit. Okay, let's watch it again. True Crime and Other Stuff says, I don't think it was a robbery. They didn't steal anything. And like they're barely even trying to get this door open. They're like, all right, that one's not opening. Here, maybe if I hit on it with this. Barely, with no effort. Very strange. Almost looking up at the camera right there. Did you see that? So here's some good light. Taco says, definitely not a robbery. Tell me it doesn't look like they've done that a million times. Yeah, there's nothing pointing at the husband other than a possible motive. That I do not know, Beach. Mana says theories most lean toward a disgruntled wife or a man who may have had an affair. That's kind of where I'm leaning too. Yeah, it seems very strange. Yeah, I think I might have some information on that, Daisy. Premeditation to make him not look guilty. All right, let's look at some of the affidavit. Slathering, it's about 90% it's a dude. Yeah, it might just be a funny-legged dude. Police uniform. Hey, good to see you, Tom. Gun in police report was Missy's in her car. Oh, thank you for that. Oh, so that's why they said near the crime scene. But I wonder if they were interested in it because it was new. Maybe it was a new purchase. She was afraid of something. Okay, here's a piece of the search warrant. Okay, it says here, as first responders arrived on scene, they observed several exterior and internal doors with extensive damage to them, as well as broken glass throughout the inside of the church. So now, I believe that's all part of the staging, right? Hey, good to see you, Devoted. Nedra, shout out to Tom Webster. Welcome, my friend. Shadow says father-in-law was out of state and bloody clothes was dog blood. Yeah, see, coincidences do happen. Tom says father-in-law, yep, confirmed in California. Beavers family says bloody shirt caused by dog fight. Vet's backup story. All right, dude, looks like he should be cleared, huh? Okay, so it says here they did find the video. We've already seen that. I think we should go to what they found, the timeline. Let me go back this way. Okay, so this is after the search warrant. So MB, of course, I'm assuming is Missy Bevers, begins speaking with CW on LinkedIn. Now, these are those flirtatious conversations, right? Conversation turns flirtatious and familiar and continues up until Missy Bevers' death. April 14, Missy Bevers posts Facebook post from Austin, Texas. CG event. What's that? Church? April 15th. Brandon Bevers, which is her husband, has a minor surgery outpatient procedure at BUMC. It's like a medical center. Missy Bevers posts Facebook photos from Austin, Texas. CG event. Miracle Hearts. Gun was actually listed on a statewide homicide summary for the year. Hey, what's up, Dawn? I always thought it was odd that both husband and father-in-law were conveniently out of town. I know they have alibis, but wow. Yeah, we're going to watch this interview. He talks a lot about being out of town and making sure he's talking to his wife. They called all the time. Hey, Sweets. Good to see you, Sweets. Welcome. That's a good question, Tom. Since you've been covering this case, what do you think happened? Oh, here we go. Tom's talking about, I spent over 600 hours over 8 months looking into this case. My deep dive video on YouTube is almost 5 hours. In case anybody has 5 hours. Hell yeah. Well, we'll watch it in parts. Free and wants to know a lot of the details. Yeah, thank you. What do you think happened? Says I can't figure it out. Yeah, I've spent some time on it, not that much time, but yeah, I mean, I still can't figure it out. There's sometimes I'm even looking at the video, I feel like it might be a woman, and then there's other times I feel like it could be a man. Okay, because of time, I'm just going to kind of give you guys an opportunity to screenshot these. And then we're going to go to the interview. I want to hear all of it. It's very interesting. Okay, Missy Bevers posted on Facebook that she's going to bed, be up at 3:30 a.m. Missy Bevers and Brandon Beaver allegedly speak on the phone before bed and say, I love you. So allegedly, according to him. 2 a.m., light colored. So the Nissan Altima seen on the SWFA parking lot cameras When we played that video, that was at 2 a.m., according to this here. At 3:50 a.m., suspect 1 seen on church surveillance camera after breaking into the church. I wonder why they don't have footage of this person entering the church, or do they? 3:50 a.m. to 4:20 a.m. Suspect seen on camera rummaging from room to room. So we watched that. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. At 4:16, Missy Bevers' truck pulls into the church parking lot. At 4:20, she enters the church, first seen on camera. At 4:26, AT posts to Facebook about CG glass, and I don't know who AT is. 2 911 calls made to MPD. Fire department is dispatched at 5 a.m. 5:03, patrol officers are dispatched. 5:07, they arrive at the church. 5:10, the fire department arrives at 5:07. Police department arrives at 5:10. CG camper. Okay, so CG is the church camper organization, whatever the name of it is. It's a program that Missy was working with. Calls Brandon Bevers to tell him about Missy Bevers. Calls MT and tells her that Missy Bevers was in a car wreck. What? That's weird. That's strange. SILKS tells reporters she thinks Missy Bevers was targeted by a jealous woman. That's interesting. Funeral at Cowboy Church. I think that's where the family went, right? Nedra's asking, was Missy confronted or surprised? She didn't fight back. Person had upper body strength. Not by the way they were holding the tools. I'm on the same page, Sweets. I don't understand that part. Tom says, I'm not certain the killer had a prosthetic leg. I don't agree with his current suspect. He saw an Ultima window. Okay, you guys are getting more into the rabbit hole stuff. Okay, April 26th, emergency LinkedIn data. Remember, there was some kind of flirtatious conversation going on up until the point that she died. LinkedIn warrant issued, Missy Bevers, and CW data. So I don't know who CW is. They are named in the actual warrant. A release statement addressing rumors of an arrest. Police department released dry cleaner warrant. Speak to reporters about the dry cleaner warrant. Yeah, right here it says warrant revealing Missy Bevers died from puncture wounds to the head and chest. LinkedIn warrants released to the public. All right, this is what we're going to watch here. Brandon Bevers tells People magazine that he knows more about investigation than the public and that the family's insurance has been canceled. Okay, so that should answer some questions here. And that the family's insurance has been canceled. Nancy Grace reports that police are honing in on a disposable phone, a burner phone used by the suspect, and that Missy Bevers stopped showing up to the gym 2 weeks before the murder. That's interesting. Maybe there was an issue there. She felt she needed to get a weapon. Maybe she was being stalked, threatened by somebody that she maybe was flirting with. Couldn't go to her husband, right? Well, I can't tell my husband that I was flirting with some guy, and now he's stalking me. Or maybe even a woman. Arrest rumors circulate online. May 12th, Midlothian police discredit rumors. The DA office completes reconstruction of video evidence, giving them detailed description of suspect. No details released to the public. Why not? Highlights. Suspect height between 5'2" and 5'7". See, that's different than what the husband says, but still no confirmed gender. Police are looking for a Nissan Altima that pulled into SWFA parking lot at approximately 2 a.m. BB and RB have solid alibis. I believe that's her husband and her stepfather. And not currently a focus of the investigation. None of MB's friends, family, or co-workers are suspects. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this interview, and I think we're going to close out with this. It's about 20 minutes long. And if you had any information to add to today's live stream on the Missy Bevers case, feel free to go ahead and punch that in the chat here. We'll discuss it.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, give me a second. I have an issue with my camera. Brandon, just tell us, what are you going through right now? I mean, today, right now?
Well, I don't want to do interviews, okay? I just want to make a statement. Is that all right?
Tell us what you want to say.
Okay. Yeah, I don't.
I said, hang on, I'm having a problem with the camera.
Yeah, let him get ready. And y'all can funnel this up to the other media outlets, okay?
Yes, sir.
And I can be done with this,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay.
We appreciate you coming out. We know it's got to be terribly difficult, and we're really just hoping you'll speak from your heart. What you want.
And may we all just say we are sorry.
Yes, Beach Ferry. We are having a members meeting
Appreciate it.
tonight.
I haven't
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I haven't had a whole lot of time to, I haven't had a lot of time to get emotional about this yet. I've been.
Oh, yeah,
dealing with
sweets.
the,
That's not real
immediate
gear
needs of my children.
at all.
I mean, this morning I've had some. This morning I finally started thinking about the events that occurred yesterday morning, and
Can you guys hear that okay?
So, I'm starting with that process today. You got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sorry about that, sir.
No, the main purpose here today is solely to communicate to the people in the community and to everybody watching and listening. My wife was she was a godly woman, and she was a very passionate about changing people's lives with fitness and changing their mental attitude towards their body and themselves and their abilities.
Yeah, I
in
agree,
life.
Jeremiah.
And, personally, I haven't involved myself in a lot of what she does, but now that I'm seeing some of her campers.
Yeah, rental or stolen.
I've noticed a substantial impact that she's had on so many people's lives, and I'm very proud of her. And I just want it to be publicly known that
Daisy says, that is suspicious. Why would you cancel your insurance? I don't know where that you've been paying for years. Yeah, I wonder what was going
we
on
are
with that.
very proud of all of the passion and effort that she's put into so many people's lives. As far as the perpetrator, I don't know, we still don't know who he is, but I ask.
Shadowbox says we need a 4-hour live. I could talk about this case forever. Yeah, after this interview, we'll go back to the security footage and then we'll close out the poll. And we'll kind of take a closer look at what this person's wearing. And it's strange. I keep wanting to say she. Is that weird?
Everybody out there to review the video. I think you can get the video on the Midlothian Police Department's Facebook website. Look at the video. The person has a very distinct walk. There's
Thank you, sweets.
just a
Yeah,
very
guys, hit that like button.
mannerism about this person that should be very apparent to somebody. Okay.
Thank you, Beach.
I don't believe there was a vehicle there. This perpetrator, I don't know if he walked into the facility or if he we don't know how he arrived at the facility. But
thank you.
I'm just hoping that somebody either saw something or somebody can recognize the mannerisms of this person on the video. It's very important to us to get some closure with that. And, but at the same time, I want to definitely publicize that my wife was she was a great woman, a great
Thank you,
a
Donna.
wife, a great mother, a great friend. And she will be missed by many people. But please be diligent as you can and review the video and report anything to the Midlothian Police Department. And I appreciate your time.
He's going to answer questions.
I guess this is your last time. You're not going to speak again after this. Is that correct? This is what you.
I really don't. I mean, I don't want to.
Jeremiah says sometimes homeless people break into churches for shelter and food they keep in there. Yeah, I don't know if they're dressed like that. Thank you, Daisy. Being a female, I'm leaning that way as well. Have a great day, Nedra. Okay, we're all caught up on the chat.
In terms of
I can't read his body
in
language.
terms of obtaining a story to pull at heartstrings and stuff like that.
He doesn't seem cooperative.
I'm not looking here for the media to sensationalize a tragedy. Okay?
Shouldn't you want like as much attention
my
as
family
possible?
We need our privacy, and that's why I wanted to do this in one time only. But we need our privacy.
You can't find a killer privately.
I haven't had a lot of sleep. I haven't had a lot of one-on-one time with my children. I just have some issues that
Yeah, and you can't call it. There's not a
deal
manual
with
for
on
it,
a
Shadow.
personal level, with my children.
That's why it's so hard.
I want to reach out to the Camp Gladiator, the
Oh,
campers
CG,
that
Camp
she
Gladiators.
mentored, and I want to talk to those folks and express,
It's a group she worked with.
my appreciation for their admiration of my wife. Okay.
You
And-
do understand, sir, that we are here because we want to help the police catch whoever did this as well.
Yes. But as far as
Yeah,
any,
it's true, sweets.
one-on-one interview, tug at the heartstrings, kind of stories,
Because he
sensationalized.
does remind me a little bit of Drew Collins.
I just, I'm not here for that.
It's
I
kind
don't
of
think
beaten
any of us are
down.
trying to sensational. I mean, your wife was a mother and a woman who touched so many lives through her work.
Correct. You are correct.
And that's why, I mean, we want to share her story. And you know that.
Chopper says, listen, this guy was out of town. Is that true? From my understanding, he has an alibi and his father has an alibi. And they were two people that were closely looked at. But then Chopper was saying, hey, earlier, remember you said it's kind of strange that they were out of town at that very moment.
Correct.
Well, I mean, just you knew her better than anyone. I mean, the kind of woman she was, the kind of mother she was.
Well, I mean, she
Right,
was
Anna?
a very good mother. She spent. I'll go a little further here. When Missy, before we
GP.
had children, Missy was a teacher, public school teacher. She worked with special needs children, and she did that for
Thanks for
about 2
hanging out.
years. And
Yeah, I'm not getting guilty vibes from him at
I
all.
could see.
And I'm trying to read his body
the amount
language.
of outpouring in her soul to help needy
He
people,
seems like he might just be
okay?
tired.
And especially at that time, it was special needs children. And then we had children. She stayed at home, raised our children, and when she got back into the workforce, or when
Mhm.
time allowed her to do things for herself,
Here's a question for
she
Tom if
found
he's
Camp
still here.
Gladiator.
Did you roll out Brandon?
And through raising our 3 children, she transformed into a different physically person, a
It's a
mother.
good question for Tom if he's
But
here.
She decided to become physically fit, and for a 40.
See, to me, this is kind of like him explaining how her life was changing and she may have been going in another direction. And I don't know if it pissed him off or it pissed somebody's wife off, but it may have pissed somebody off.
Some odd year old mother of 3, she was very fit and transformed on an unimaginable level. Her body pretty well sold her abilities in transforming and helping other people. And but she was very passionate about helping these people. And I would catch some of her campers' remarks on her Facebook page about how excited they were of the results that they've seen through her efforts. And
Kevin, he
I'm
doesn't
proud
look
of.
tired to
We're
you?
very proud of.
You're
She
suspicious
meant
of him?
a lot of things to a lot of people. What did she mean, though, to you as her husband?
Well, she was a companion. We enjoyed fishing. We enjoyed going to the beach. We spent a lot of time at the ocean. We've been together for 20 years, and over the 20 years, our relationship evolved from this to that to this to that, and
Yeah.
we managed to keep it.
Sweets, you're not the only one. I mean, and it could just be a coincidence, but it is a little bit, it kind of adds to the strange pile, right? And this is from Sweets. While I don't usually pay as much attention to most body language when ruling someone in or out in my mind, it is super sus that he and his dad were both conveniently out of town. Like, hey, it couldn't have been us. I wasn't there. I was out of town.
Held together all this time. But at this particular venture in our lives, it opened up an opportunity for her to do something that was gratifying to herself rather than raising a family constantly, driving kids around. And she just, like I said, the Camp Gladiator opportunity came up, and
She was so well loved. Are you racking your brain to say who would want to hurt such a beautiful person?
yes, I mean, it's this world is full of evil people.
Kevin says, yeah, no bags under his eyes. That's a good point.
I don't know, without going into any details that I've spoke with law enforcement. I mean,
Yeah, he
we're
doesn't.
talking about a senseless act here. Okay.
Did you look at the video to see if you saw anybody, recognized anything about it?
The same video that I watched on a continuous loop. It's the same video that you guys have already had access to.
Click anything for you?
Nothing clicks. I can't tell if the person is a man or a woman. The police estimate that he's about 6 foot tall. This person's 6 foot tall. But if you look at the mannerisms of the person, how they walk, I mean, there's something very distinctive there that somebody has to be able to point this out.
It seems to baffle the police department, like it baffles us as reporters, and it baffles the investigation. Why someone?
Yeah, I thought about that too, Beach Fairy. Like, no reason to talk about it. If he had nothing to do with it, no reason to mention like a bad marriage and all of that. You know, it's just pointless at that time. Moot.
I don't know. There are some things that the police are looking into with respect to.
Yeah, if this definitely seems planned.
The timing of it and the arrival of my wife. The person wasn't in tactical gear. That wasn't tactical gear. That was a shoddy amount of clothing to look like some type of an enforcement officer. It wasn't real tactical clothing.
I agree with that.
What did it look like to you?
It looked like a costume.
From the video, as best I could tell, it looked like maybe motorcycle boots or some type of military style boot. I couldn't tell the pants. It looked like some kind of flimsy, like sweatpants or something. I couldn't really tell. But the jacket was just a generic police jacket, kind of a velour-looking police jacket, and I couldn't even identify the helmet. The person was wearing a helmet, and I couldn't identify.
Taco Fall. Yeah, see, bringing up them being out of town. Timing, exactly. Him and his father are out of town.
Whether it was a motorcycle helmet. I don't know if there is a motorcycle avenue on that outfit, or if it was a tactical avenue, because the helmet, I couldn't even tell what it was.
Do you think someone wanted to hurt Missy in particular, or this was?
I do not know the answer to that.
She posted on her Facebook that she was going to be there. Is that something that I talked to you about?
Well, the date, time, and location of her camps are publicized. They're known. Those times and schedules are already predetermined. It definitely sets up an opportunity for the unknown to happen, particularly since she arrives there early before anybody else does. But if you look at the video, and I don't know how much of the video the police has released, but if you look at the video, and from what I understand,
and before we get out of here, we'll look one more time real quick at the security footage.
And spent several minutes rummaging from room to room. If I'm not mistaken, he might have broke some glass in this room looking for something, broke some glass in this room looking for something, spent some time in the kitchen area. But by the time my wife arrived, I don't know of the video at that point, but according to the police, shortly after the altercation, needless to say, it's the opinion of the police department that the perpetrator didn't know the presence of my wife, or that she was going to be there. I think my wife walked in on a robbery. That's just an opinion. That's not fact.
So you don't think she was targeted, or like that she was particularly?
In strictly my opinion, I don't think she was targeted.
Hey, what's up, Tony? Good to see you.
To the best of my knowledge, when my wife arrived, there was no other vehicle in the parking lot.
Listen to this.
And otherwise, it would have obviously drawn it. You know, my wife would have seen that.
Do you hear that?
So as
thought that
far
was
as I
strange.
know, and you have to confirm that with on a robbery.
Okay, now remember, the video hadn't been released yet. So they hadn't released the video of the vehicle yet.
That's just an opinion. That's not fact. Um,
So you don't think she was targeted, or like that she was particularly?
in strictly my opinion, I don't think she was targeted. And to the best of my knowledge, when my wife arrived, um, there was no other vehicle in the parking lot, and otherwise it would have obviously drawn it. You know, my wife would have seen that. So as far as I know, and you have to confirm that with the police, there was no other vehicles on the property. But according to the timeline, the person came into the building and left the crime scene before the other campers showed up. So was there another vehicle, or did they have cameras outside that could confirm that? I don't know.
When was the last time you spoke with her? And were you guys in the habit of maybe texting? Did
Yes.
she go to these locations, where it would be dark and quiet?
Well, as far as communicating prior to her camps, no. I mean, she got there pretty early.
Okay, so you hadn't heard from her that morning.
No.
Did you guys speak the night before?
Yes.
And what did you
Yes.
say to her?
Every day.
Right,
for the
Angela? It didn't look like a robbery at all. Looked like they were
every day for
staging
the
a
last
crime
10
scene.
months, she has made it a point to text me at work that she loves me and have a good day, honey. When I finally arrived in Biloxi around 7:30, which was later than I was supposed to be there, I spoke to her, and
Yeah, with no
she
vehicle.
said good night, and it was still about 8 o'clock, and I called her anyway, probably around 9 or 9:30 to tell her I love her, and she was already half asleep, and that's the last time I spoke to her.
Okay. This is a much longer interview, but we only have about 10 more minutes. And I want to go ahead and go back to that security footage real quick. I'm going to run it in slow motion, I think. That I don't know of. Chopper. Yeah, if he hired a hitman, he could have easily said, this cannot lead back to me at all. Yeah, that's true, GP. Angela Luster, he says it's not targeted. I think he's sussed, but that is only my opinion. I think he had outgrown the relationship. Sweet says, why else would someone don a police costume and break into a church during those hours and not steal anything unless they targeted someone who would be there super early in the morning? Yeah, and also, what are you going to do with the stolen stuff? Go running down the street dressed like a SWAT officer? Like, they obviously have a car nearby. There's no way you're walking down the street looking like that. And if you're going to steal anything, you're going to need a vehicle or some place to put it. Looks like a floor of a buffet. GP says, yeah, I'm not sure what to make of it. It's kind of confusing all the way around. I mean, it looks like a hired hit. And whoever they hired went out of their way to make it, to stage and mislead. Yeah, no bag. Yeah, what are they robbing? Are they just looking for cash, maybe? All you need are pockets, to carry cash. Are they looking for the donation box, maybe? All right, guys. Well, we are going to get out of here in about 5 minutes. If you could please hit the like button on the way out. And if you are part of that replay crew, make sure you let us know what you think about today's live stream. And shout out to all you people who participated in today's chat and were able to catch the live stream. Thank you. Take care, Slay the Rings. Thanks for hanging out. Sweet says, I do think if this was a hired hit, there would not be near as much wandering around aimlessly on a video. I do. I feel like if this person knew that there were all these videos, part of the staging would be to be seen on video, right? Dressed like this. I'm not in here cool, calm, and collect, just waiting for this woman to show up. You can't if it is a hit, you can't make it look like a hit type of situation. And one of the reasons these killers stage these crime scenes is so they can mislead investigators. Or a stalker, yeah. Or maybe a woman who bought into her theories, Well, you can get back in shape, you can get your life back on track. Maybe she fell short. Who knows? Wasn't there an idea that the box GE is carrying was a new knife? What box? Petty cash, everything kept in the bank electronically or in a safe, maybe. Yeah, I figured if there was any donations, you would go deposit them, right? Later that day after church or whatever. Methed up. Yeah, that could be. Somebody all methed up wearing some stupid outfit they found in the trash. Walks up to the church, breaks in, out of their mind. Yeah, that is a possibility too. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, man. Tweakers are everywhere, and there's just no explanation for the things that you catch them doing. You just can't. There's no motive. All right, guys, that's it for my time. Jeremiah looks like he had a headlamp flashlight. Yeah, on the front of the helmet. Sweet Faces, churchgoer who was jealous with gimpy leg, couldn't do her camps. Yeah, maybe. Like you're making us all look bad. Thank you, Jane. All right, guys. Now, if you do want to donate to the channel or you're looking for ways to help out, let me show you a few ways that you can do that. So one way is through our Etsy shop. It's a merch shop. See here, we got 5 stars. And we try to get most of it made in the United States, but I think the rest of it is Vietnam. We got the mugs, some playing cards, got the muscle shirts, hats, some stickers. You can become a member. We get together most Wednesdays. Yesterday, I wasn't able to get with you guys. I was a little busy, but we will be doing that members meeting today. Let me see what else. Oh, Cash App. For those of you who want to donate directly to me. And some of you do. I appreciate you guys so much. But the truth is I'll probably buy weed with it. That's what I did with the $30 that I had built up. I went and bought pot. But yeah, I was grateful. I can't buy coffee because of my high cholesterol. But if you do donate, just so you guys know, be forewarned, it'll probably go to pot. All right, guys, on that note, I'll see all you members a little bit later today. And if you have anything to add, go ahead and leave it in the comments. And I think we just got a sponsor as well. Super sticker. Thank you, Shadow. All right, we've been legitimized. No, thank you so much. Don't worry about all that. It means a lot to me. Couldn't be doing this without you guys. Appreciate it. Sweets, bought my Sleuth Crew hoodie. Should be arriving today. Oh, was that you? Yeah, I was like, oh, I remember telling my wife, I was like, hey, we made a sale. She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, cool. You know, I still get excited. Thank you, Don. Beach Ferry Sweets. You guys take care. I will see you members a little bit later, and I'll see you guys tomorrow again for another True Crime in the Morning. Not sure exactly what case we're going to cover, but I'm looking forward to it. I have a couple that I have prepped here. I haven't decided just yet. But either way, enjoy your Thursday. I am out of here. And on that note, with another sponsored super sticker. Thank you, GP. Shout out to Shadow and GP for legitimizing today's live stream. You guys rock. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Take care. Be safe. Peace.